Well, it's a big show. Oh, baby, come on. Oh, yeah. Crank it up. Turn on them lights. Turn up them lights.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to the Achievement Hunting 101 podcast, the best achievement hunting community. This is level 15. We got an awesome show for you guys tonight, but before we get started, some pleasantries. First up, we have L, aka Big L. How's it going?
Hello.
That was a bit creepy. And also with us is Corey, aka Rocker Dude 5012. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
And I got everyone's name correctly that time, so suck it.
Yay.
That's the first milestone to lead off our proclamation point.
Proclamation point. All right, this week we have a variety of community members to talk about. First up, we'll get them out of the way first. Big L has completed 305 games. In doing so, he has surpassed 360,000 Gamerscore, and that accumulated over 14,500 achievements. Good job, L.
Not bad.
Thank you, guys.
What was your 305th completion?
That game.
Not an important one, obviously.
Oddly specific.
I think it was ACA.
Okay, then it doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
They're all the same. I'm sure it was a fighting game. Moving on, Koosh Moose is now in the top 20 for USA Metrovania Gamerscore.
Nice.
Way to go, Koosh. Let's see here. I'm trying to group them up. Redemption Denied and Chin Doctor both have achievement streaks. Chin has hit 2 years in a row.
Nice, Chin.
And I haven't followed up with him, but he was supposed to break it the next day and was having difficulties breaking his streak. But he did hit 2 years. A little bit up on him is Redemption Denied at 1,700 days. That's quite a lot of time.
Yeah, paltry.
Compared
not
to
too
some
bad.
people. Rounding up the proclamation point, we have Toadstyle Venom, longtime friend of the show, boosting partner. He is in the top 50 for Windows Phone strategy games on TA.
Nice. 2 leaderboard ones.
That sounds made
Oh,
up.
yeah? What's his other one?
I met milestones tonight.
He did have another one. I will grab it real quick. He's in the top 50 for USA True Achievement leaderboard in Windows Phone. So, a little specific, but in the best country there is, America, he's in the top 50. So,
USA.
another good one.
USA.
NBA Kirkland, he hit 950,000 TA, so we'll be looking at him for the 1 million here soon.
Great milestone.
Speaking of 1 million, our very own X the Hero has hit 1 million TA today, folks, which is yesterday in real time.
Way to go, X.
Yep, and with that 1 million TA, he eclipsed the top 450 on all of TA. So,
It's awesome.
yeah.
Ridiculous job, X.
Yeah, very good. We have several, top scores in our community, so it's good to have
I do what I
company
can.
like that around. Well, X is in the top 450. You're in the bottom 450, but it's good to have both ends of the
Oh, I heard
spectrum.
you.
So,
I heard you wrong. My bad.
yep. And one more that's kind of out of the norm here. Today, our buddy Doughboy drew the Red Dead Redemption 2 code for Extra Life that we donated to him. And I'm an idiot. 119 or 19, something like that. Won. So, see him around in all the TA streams
Nice.
and on Twitter and such. So, some congrats, and we hope you enjoy the Wild Wild West.
Great game. Probably game of the decade.
Congrats, Ima.
And also, with UHH survivors, we usually would be shout out whoever lives.
Bring on the
But
bagpipes.
unfortunately, no one did this week. Rip Waka Peel. He almost had it. It was actually quite the fight. Went 17-17, and he lost in the ratio battle.
Yeah, but
Good run,
still, yeah,
Very good run. Top 16.
yeah. It took a lot of time and hours put in to get that far, and I know the community helped him out where we could, but really good job.
Good job,
Yeah.
Waka Pale.
That's not easy. I think he went to bed with 17 and his opponent had 15. And there was 9 hours left, and then his opponent managed to get the 2 to tie it up for the win.
Yeah, I think his opponent wound up getting the Explosion Man multiplayer cakes early on, which was just a real good one to get. So that was the ratio difference, I believe.
And with that, Ryan Mighty Mango joins us. What's up, man?
Hello. Long time. I am back.
For real?
We
Where
did
you
not
been?
kick him off.
No, I am here. I am still here. I'm alive. Can I get into something personal? Can I say something personal?
As long as it's not about the sun.
No,
Talk
definitely
that
not about
part
that.
out.
No, I'm officially divorced now. I've been dealing with that, so I'm divorced.
Congrats.
Congrats?
Yes.
That's my line.
All right. Proclamation point.
Proclamation
continues.
point continues.
I
Get
mean,
rid
I
of
guess
all
that's a
women.
milestone.
More time for gaming.
Or men if you prefer that.
Yes.
Don't judge.
Right.
Or Z.
I don't get that, but all right.
Did you say you were sheep?
Z.
Oh.
We're totally digressing. I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you. Good to hear your voice again.
Yes. Hopefully other people
We've
miss me
missed
as
our
well.
Ryan.
All right, Mango. What you missed is that we were talking about milestones, and your name was nowhere to be found. So now you have to catch up, sir. Sir Ryan.
Well, I'm going to hit a milestone tonight.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Yeah, I'm going to hit the
Hours divorce.
3,100 game played.
Whoa.
Nice. That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games.
What are you going to play?
I haven't decided yet.
That's a good one.
I've got 600 or 700 games to pick from, so I just got to find one.
It sounds very difficult to find one.
Yeah.
Well,
Challenging.
you could play now that you're divorced, you could play a dating simulator game.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There was a sequel to one of those dating sim games that actually you shot your love arrows, and I can't remember the name of it, but there's a sequel that never came to the 360.
You shot your what?
Your love arrows. I'm not kidding.
Is that what we're calling it now?
No, that's what they called it, love arrows. I'm not kidding. And you
Literal?
had to hit the female characters in certain places to please them.
What?
Yes.
Sounds like a Leisure Suit Larry minigame.
This is very Japanese.
Oh, it's very Japanese. Very. Now I'm going to have to look it up because it's really going to bug me. But you should all play it. I highly, highly recommend it.
I'm good.
Galgun. The game is called Galgun.
Gal gun, but you shoot your love arrows. Okay.
Yep. You play the hero named Tensu,
360
who,
game?
because of an errant love arrow fired by somebody, you get to have to shoot your love arrows at other people.
If you want to look this up, make sure safe search is off. Or on, not off.
Annie, you dirty bastard.
Yeah, actually, Galgun 2 is on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I was looking for a game earlier. But,
Went with Cooking Mama instead.
well, we are glad you have joined us. What's next on the docket, Kenny?
I guess community questions. We got a couple from the community. Okay, first question is, do you take advantage of the Play Anywhere feature? Ryan, since you're finally back, let's start with you.
Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I was using the Play Anywhere feature for Cronus Arc the other day because you can play it on either system. I went from playing it on the PC and then went and played it on my One. So that would be one example. So yeah, I like the Play Anywhere feature. I didn't think I would. I thought it was kind of stupid. But then I realized sitting on a laptop while I'm watching a TV show playing the game, was actually kind of nice.
L, do you use it?
Funny enough, I've also been using it for Cronus Arc. This is the perfect game to use it for because you can grind enemy kills while you are doing what Ryan said, watching TV or doing whatever. And I may or may not have brought my my Surface to work and played Cronus Arc at work. I've
Seems
also
very efficient.
I feel like there's been more of these lately. I played the Fearful Symmetry game and Spheroids. So a couple of easy games that you can play as Play Anywhere titles. Now, I have kind of an older Surface. I wanted to install like Super Lucky's Tale, or I don't know if it'll handle that or not.
Did you have an original Surface?
It's like one of the third one, maybe.
Okay, it's better than mine.
I don't know. I'll have to give it a try. But Cronus Arc's like 200 megs.
Yeah, and I actually like that game. Not to digress into a review about the game.
Do you use Play Anywhere, Corey?
I use it in a different manner. I have several Play Anywhere games. Some of them I bought strictly because they are Play Anywhere and they would work on my Surface, and that was a good way to, get some game time in at lunch or something, and get some Gamerscore on games I didn't have to waste time in my primary go time at night. So every game I think I have that's Play Anywhere, I've always picked one of the other to play it on, mostly PC if it would run. Like Halo Wars, for example, is one that I've probably put a lot of time into. But I never go cross-platform, although anybody who I've talked with who's used it, it always works really great. So I use it more for the buy it on one and have the option to play it on both.
Right.
Oh, the Video Kid game is also Play Anywhere, if you didn't know that one.
Is it?
Yeah. There's another one you could play.
Well, I've already completed it, but it is on sale on Switch, and I did give it a second thought. But
That game had an update. I don't know what it was for, though. Did it make it easier?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I completed it back on when the hardcore kids did it.
Yeah, you're a better gamer than I am.
If it didn't add new achievements, who cares?
Yeah, it didn't add
It
new
could-
achievements. I know that.
It could have made it easier, though. Some people were having troubles with it. I've experienced a few quirks with it myself, but I'd recommend it for the right price.
Okay. And next question. What games are you looking forward to in the future? Personally, the only game I'm really looking forward to that I can think, well, two games, I guess. One comes out next week. One is Spyro. No surprise there. And then the second game that's coming out in February is Anthem. Game looks really cool. Destiny meets Iron Man.
Hey,
Or are you looking forward to any games?
Well, Spyro is on my list for sure in the immediate future. Long term, well, it's hard to say. I really want Fable, but I'll keep that off the table because it hasn't officially been announced.
Yeah, let's keep with games that's officially been announced.
So in that light, I'm going to say Crackdown 3 because it's happening. It is happening.
If you say so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really look into the future. I mean, they only really talk about AAA games. I get excited looking at the release calendar every month and seeing the indies that are popping up. So it's always changing what I'm going to be playing. So really immediate future is Spyro for sure.
did you guys hear the controversy about the physical version of Spyro?
No.
Yeah, I think I know about it. You want to tell me though?
Briefly heard about it.
I was leading you to talk about it. Corey, pay attention.
All right. So
God.
the big controversy is that if you bought Spyro on disc, either the first or the first and second game is all that you're going to get on the disc. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't get all three games that come packaged in it. It just means you have to download the third one or the second and third one, whichever combination is true. I don't really see why it's a big deal. You still get all your games,
Yeah,
but
I don't see it as a big deal either.
a big uproar about it.
Is it $39.95 just like the Crash bundle was?
Yeah, $40
Yep.
standalone.
People just want to complain. That's all it is. Who cares? You're getting all three
I
games.
think
What
the
difference does it make?
big uproar is that if you don't have fast internet, then you can't get access to your game for several hours.
When?
Okay,
believe-
well, you're a little too entitled, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you bought it.
That's
but
what I saw.
I'll play them in order.
Well, I couldn't play Red Dead when it first came out because I had to download an update, which took like an hour. So, when?
And he has potato internet.
Yeah, I got
Look at
way
that.
potato internet.
I mean, if you're really wanting to play it day one, then why not go ahead and buy it digitally and preload the thing? So
Exactly.
Yeah. Not much of a controversy. Someone will always complain about anything.
No. I don't think so. I disagree.
Elp complains a lot.
About everything.
Yep,
gosh,
about
I
everything.
should have heard him before we hit record.
Looking forward to Red Dead. Got that. And then the other one I was really looking forward to was Just Dance 2019 on the Xbox
Yes.
360,
Oh, gosh.
which, let me tell you, when you go to GameStop and say, yeah, I'm here to pick up my reservation for Just Dance 2019 for the Xbox 360, they look at you really funny. They go, 360? What? I didn't know that was coming out for the 360, as they spend 10 minutes trying to look up the game. I'm like, just get the manager of the store. He knows me. He knows the game is here. He's got it. So that was pretty awesome. Could potentially be the last 360 game.
I feel like we had this
Valid.
conversation last year with just
Yep.
2017 and Cars 3, I think it
Yeah,
was.
if there's going to be another one, it would be Just Dance 2020, but that would probably be the last 360 game. I got the previous one of the other last one, which I was also looking forward to. Another game that was in the future that's not anymore was FIFA 19 on the 360, which I got the NTSC version, not the PAL version, because there's a Mexican / US version which you can get down in the southern states.
Oh, I better look for it.
That is amazing they still have 360 games.
Yes.
Hey, Mango, did you hear that if you pre-order Just Dance 2020, you get Barbara Walters as a playable character?
That would be fantastic.
I feel like that's a joke only you get.
Yes.
Oh, she does 2020. Nailed it.
I watched that show when I was a kid. They were talking about the ozone layer, and it freaked me the hell out. It was back in like 1986,
The black
before
and white.
Foof
Oh.
and Rock were even alive.
Yep.
That's true.
Old people.
All right, do we have any more questions there, Kenny?
Just Dance 2019 has no online. I'm
Ooh,
pretty sure for the 360.
I thought it did.
It's not the same. I don't think it does. There's only 30 achievements instead of 48. I don't know. It's definitely different. People are completing it already.
Ooh, I like that
Going
idea.
through months and months. Yeah. So this is unfortunately in the next 2 weeks. A lot of Just Dance servers are going down. So people like me that procrastinated have been trying to bang out as much as they can.
Yeah, I noticed every time I get online, that's what you're playing.
Yeah, it's what my chair is playing. So that's
Well, you're right, Al.
Al.
There is no online in that one.
I'm right about something?
Yeah, you're right.
Yay!
But we
Make a
already
holiday.
got past proclamation point. And last question for tonight. What games do you think will be at XO18? Or what games would you like to see? Corey, you got any?
Well, I think that's already been confirmed that Crackdown will be there. Again, I don't really. What's coming out is coming out, and I don't really need to see any more from them. I'm just looking for new things that are being worked on. It would be nice if they confirmed Fable, like we mentioned earlier here. And I kind of want to see that Gears Tactics game, to be honest. But
I forgot about the Gears Tactics.
Yeah, I mean they have that, the Funko one, and the Gears 5 outright. I wouldn't mind seeing the Gears Funko one to be honest either. So
I only want to see that because I'm curious. I don't know how that could possibly work.
yeah, and then I don't know. Yeah, I'm just still up for new IPs. I don't want to see anything that they've already. I'm pretty sure that everything that they've mentioned, it pretty much has at least something out there. Maybe except for Battletoads. That would be good to see some kind of footage from. But yeah, I don't know.
So what is XO18, Kenny?
It is basically like E3, but the Xbox press conference.
I would reword
Conference.
that to
Blah, blah, blah.
say it's like PSX, if you know what that is, the PlayStation experience.
Yeah, it's just
So it's an event with an X in the title.
It's basically just
Oh, it's in Mexico.
a Microsoft Xbox exclusive event. And
Hey, you
they
can get
Game
touted
show.
it to be, have fairly big announcements there.
Mango. You can pre-order FIFA 2020
Ooh,
with the Lol Barbara Walters.
they should hand them. They should hand them out free since it's in Mexico City.
Exactly. Just don't drink the water.
I not gonna lie, I actually had to Google what the heck it was because I had no idea what you guys were talking about. There goes all my street cred right there. I had
You're
no
supposed
idea
to use
what
Bing, come on.
XO18 is. Oh yeah, Bing, because you get the credits. Do they still get credits for
Points.
using Bing?
Sure.
Yeah.
yes.
Bing rewards.
I try to do it every day.
That's the only way they can get people to
But-
use that stupid search engine. That's right, stupid.
What games would you like to see, Manga?
Crackdown 3, man.
Yeah.
I was a big Crackdown fan, even though I have not beaten the first two games, and the vaporware joke is kind of getting old. And I have a feeling the game is a complete wreck when it comes out, just like Duke Nukem was. So I'm all in. All in.
Yes. Makes it better.
You're
I mean, there's no
probably
way
not
that it's
wrong.
going to live up to the hype, but I just hope that it's good, decent.
I want it to be good. I hope it's fantastic.
Well, I hope it's good,
And
but-
I don't even play that series.
Yeah, I hope it's good, but I just have a feeling it's going to be a disaster. I'm going to love every minute of it. This game is
So-
garbage, Agent.
So here's a little bit more information on the event that Fufu, our lovely host, didn't research. So there's going to be big PUBG news that's already confirmed. I don't know what that is. Maybe another map. I don't know. Maybe they put a fun factor in. I'm not sure. The Forge expansion for Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be shown. State of Decay 2 updates will be talked about. And quote-unquote more exclusive looks. So whatever that means. And I do know that the Game Pass Twitter handle is doing some little upload graphic thing to tease some super secret announcements at XO18. If you asked me what it's going to be about, it's probably going to be some kind of PC Game Pass news, bringing that service to the PC.
Probably. Actually, wait, I think that's been announced already.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not. Maybe I've seen something. Someone was hoping for it then. I could have sworn I saw that.
You probably saw it on Reddit, but I don't think anything's been confirmed just quite yet. Yeah, I can right now. If you go to the Twitter for Xbox Game Pass, it says XO18 Super Secret Announcements progress is at 50%. It was at 18% the other day. So basically, this whole event is happening this coming Saturday.
And Sunday.
Is it 2 days?
Yeah.
I think the main
November
announcement
10th and
is on-
11th.
Yeah, so but the big the actual show is on November 10th at 3 p.m. CT. I'm guessing that's Central Time.
Not Eastern. Who cares?
Maybe I'd be more interested if they released Galgun 3.
Oh my god.
I'd play it.
Maybe, but it has to be for the 360.
Japanese only, so you still have to import a system too.
Hearing all that, do you have any comments on that, L? Expectations, or do you even care?
Before we wrap up the show, Corey has a game he would like to talk about. Nickelodeon Kart Racers.
Oh, yeah.
How was it?
All right, so I was really excited about this game, right? Because it's Nickelodeon characters. You think back to your childhood growing up, especially you could probably
Yes.
relate, Kenny, being
Of course.
near the same age. And then we got this wonderful code from the developers, and I was a little disappointed when I loaded it up. So this
Which is really sad.
This is your standard kart racer Mario Kart type game. You have these vehicles that you ride in. You pick a certain character, and you race. And on the racetrack is turns and obstacles and power-ups. And in traditional Mario Kart style, when you do the cups, you get points based off where you finish, and then at the end of the cup, whoever has the most points is first place. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, back to the meat of the game. There's only 12 characters to pick from.
Which is really sad.
That's
So
really
they span 4 shows. You have 3 from SpongeBob, the 4 Ninja Turtles from Ninja Turtles. That's like the new Ninja Turtles where they look weird.
Yeah, they don't look
If
right.
you don't
at
know
all.
what I'm talking about, just ask Elroy.
Yeah, they don't look right.
No, they they look more like anime.
Yeah, they have necks, like really
weird.
long necks.
That's Rise of the Demon Thing.
It's still weird, but characters.
Yeah, so yeah, they don't look right. There's also 3 from Rugrats and 2 from Hey Arnold. So you pick a character and they have a accompanying vehicle, but you can pick any vehicle you really want across the game. They don't have to match. When you race, you get coins, and you can use the coins to upgrade different parts of the vehicle to make it go faster or work on the slime better, and to brake and to handle all that stuff. So if you've ever played Sonic All-Star Racing, this game kind of handles in the same vein. You have your normal road racing. You have these slime sections that would be like a water section, so your vehicle turns into a boat. And then if you hit ramps just right, you'll hit a glide section, and then it kind of turns into a plane. And
Mario Kart.
yeah, I guess the newer Mario Karts do that. I haven't played Mario Kart in a while, but anyways, the meat of a racer game comes to the tracks and how much replayability there is. Well, there's like 20 or so tracks total, and while that sounds like a lot, they look very similar across all of these. And if you're going for the completion in this game, which if you're listening to this show and you're playing it, that's probably what you're doing. You're going to be playing these tracks a lot. If Rocker's quick math is right, that's about 132 races that you have to do at a minimum for the completion. Now, there are several people who have the completion. When I looked, they averaged anywhere from 145 races to 170 something races that they've done. That is playing the same tracks at a minimum of 6 times each. So it gets very repetitive.
Yeah, and I'd
quickly.
say each race is what, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's probably a good average. So you're going to get the majority of the achievements by playing what they call the cups, and they have it on easy, normal, and expert. Unfortunately, they don't stack. So
Of course.
I went ahead and did the normal mode first. So I played normal, and I think you do different cups in the normal difficulty, and once you hit all of the 20, you 3 more cups open up, and they're basically repeats, just different chunks of the courses in different collections. So then you have to do them again. And so I think I did, I don't know, 20, probably close to 40 races just on that normal mode. And I didn't have any difficulties with it, but it took a lot of time. And to do that 2 more times, it just takes a lot out of you. And especially on the expert side, I did 1 expert race or cup, and I didn't come out first place, and just because of how cheap the AI can be. You know, just like Mario Kart, you can be in
it
first
cheats
place
really bad.
You could be in first place and get knocked back to last place within a matter of seconds. It's crazy.
On the last lap, right before the finish, too. It happened to me
Yeah.
3 times when I
hate
played
that.
it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And Angelica can die.
Yeah, so not only do you have to win all these races, but you have to race and win with each character at least one time. Each character has their own custom power-up that you have to do in order to get an achievement. To build up your boost, you ride on the slime, as I mentioned earlier. During the laps, there's a slime activator that throws it out on the track, so you pick it up and you get more to use at times that you might not use it. You have to activate that on every location that it has it on. What else am I missing? There's a multiplayer mode, and the multiplayer mode, as far as achievement goes, come down to the arena setting that they have, and the arena setting has 3 different modes, and you have to play each mode 10 times, and there's no tracking on it. So I did it with another controller. It took a while just because one of them you didn't have to actively do anything, but the other 2 you had to manage both controllers somewhat, but it just got boring. So besides that multiplayer bit and playing and winning all these races, there's really only a couple more achievements left, and they boil down to unlocking the upgrades I mentioned for your vehicles. You have to get the coins, and then you unlock the upgrades. And right now, the unlock every upgrade has been unlocked less times in the win all cups in expert mode. So I'm imagining that even once you beat all the races, you might still have to grind out the coins a little bit. Just depends on how well you did picking them up.
Fun.
And then the only other achievement is win 9 victory laps. And a victory lap is earned when you have an XP bar, and the only thing that I can see it doing is unlocking coins. So basically you have to increase this XP bar 9 times. I think I did it 3 or 4 just in my normal cup run. So overall, this completion probably isn't hard, but it's definitely time consuming and boring for a car racer. And unfortunately, it didn't live up to its hype for the nostalgia that it's bringing. So
Yeah, that's really sad. It's Nickelodeon. You have all kinds of shows, and you bring characters from 4.
Right. I mean, they hit the big one with SpongeBob. They hit all the big ones with anyone. If anything, Hey Arnold is the one that kind of stands out because it might be one of the oldest ones. I know Rugrats is old, but I think it's still relevant. Maybe. Hey Arnold, I didn't think that they showed anymore.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
I don't think Hey Arnold or Rugrats is on the air anymore.
No, I'm disappointed that Wizards of Waverly Place wasn't on there.
I forgot about that show.
I never watched that one.
I mean, there's a lot of shows you could have added. No, that's kind of sad.
What's the other
Mario Kart.
What's the other hot Nickelodeon show? Is it Kid Danger? Why isn't he on there?
I have no idea.
I don't know any of the shows from now.
See, I've got
Paw
kids, so
Patrol.
I get to see all that garbage now.
I can't watch it, and I watch
Looking
Power
at
Rangers.
screenshots, the TMNT look fine to me.
No, they're
You
the
think
goofy
so?
new ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Might be the newest new ones, but they're not the old ones.
Yeah, they're the ones it's the same. The ones from the same series where Splinter's messed up too.
Alright.
Yeah, they're like you said, they're like an anime
The
style.
2012 one. No?
No,
All right.
is it 2012? I thought there was a newer one.
Oh, it's the 2012 one?
Yeah. They look fine.
Oh, they're not bad. They're the good turtles.
I thought they were good
not
ones,
the
yeah.
good turtles. I said that wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
I like that show. That was actually a pretty
It's not
good
the
show.
one where Raphael's all jacked.
See, that's what I thought you meant.
I don't know.
When
They're kind
Raph
of
is jacked.
They're kind of like rounded, blocky. I don't know.
Anyway, just pick SpongeBob and get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. SpongeBob or Patrick.
I went for Arnold mostly.
I probably
Probably
pick
takes
Arnold
up the whole screen.
or Tommy.
Football.
Tommy!
I don't know. They could have went with like Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life or the Angry Beavers. Would have liked
Real
them.
Monsters,
Or Ren and
Danny
Stimpy.
Phantom.
There you go.
Yeah, these are the 2012 Charles. It looks like
Okay,
Come on,
well, it
Corey.
doesn't make the game any better. How
Yeah.
about that?
Come on, Corey.
the game still might suck.
It
but
could be
it's
the
better Turtles.
1990 Turtles and it would still suck.
Yeah.
Right before the show, I did read a sentence that said that the developer might add DLC for more characters.
Oh
which would
boy.
be a travesty if they did.
What's the point?
For like the
Cash
100 people that
grab.
bought it.
So,
On the bright side,
this game
it was
worth
only $40, so at least it wasn't full price.
It's not. Yeah, it's not full price, but it's definitely not full fun factor either. So take that.
Hey, you know what?
What would you rate it out of 5?
It is a licensed title, though. We don't get those anymore.
That's true. It is
That's
licensed.
very true.
Yeah. I don't know. Out of 5, 2, just because I've played worse games.
Ugh.
But it's
That
a
is
low
sad.
2.
For Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research, and I did not realize how old SpongeBob is.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
SpongeBob.
He's the only surviving Nicktoon from the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, SpongeBob's older than my kids, and they're 16.
Well, I was looking, and I think they had a SpongeBob game on the original Xbox.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but yes.
So,
There's probably PS2 SpongeBob games.
well, PS2 and Xbox OG were the same time.
Actually, I recall there being PS1 SpongeBob games. I swear.
I would believe you.
All right, guys. I think that about do it for us. If you enjoyed the show and you want to help us out a bit, please like and review it. Free, easy way to help us out. Get the word out. And make sure you smash that subscribe button so you get all of our shows. You can follow all of us at our normal tags in all the places: Twitter, TA, Discord, Xbox, blah, blah, blah. You can follow the show at Achievements 101. And you can follow the Mixer page at our new link instead of that long, stupid link. Real easy. Mixer.com/AH101. Real short and easy. And lastly, join our Discord. Pretty much the same link. Discord.io/AH101. Just search AH101 and we'll pop up that somewheres. All right, guys. Talk to you next week. See you later.
good night.
Good night.
How jarring. Bye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
A very sequential segment with Matriarch and El Royal MJ.
Hey everybody, it is time for a very sequential segment, but this one's going to be a little bit different. Matriarch and I, we are alone today, just the two of us. Apparently, X the hero had some labor disputes, sorting it out with Tom. Miss. And, or maybe he's just out wrestling a bear. That's what they do in Pennsylvania. So, we're not really sure where X is, but that's okay because he would probably not have much to add on to this topic of the night, which is, this is your VSS special list. So we're going to be discussing, now that we're all officially out and sour grapes and all that good stuff, we are going to be discussing basically our memories from the and what our favorite 3 memories each are. So please indulge us in our self-involvedness. This is going to be a very self-involved top 3 list that we're going to present to you. But first, some pleasantries. It's just you and I together.
Ooh,
Yeah.
exciting.
So,
It's been a little while.
how's it going? It's been a while,
It
right?
has been. It's going good. It's really nice to be able to do something a little more, I guess, traditional list kind of thing. Since that's not usually something we try, we usually go a little more silly absurd. It's a good word. But seeing
Dumpster
as
fire,
X abandoned us, and so we've lost that momentum, we're just
I know
gonna
it.
try something a little different today.
Fantastic. So, how would you describe our wonderful list that we're presenting tonight? How are you approaching the subject?
All right, so we discussed this a little bit before recording tonight, and as is typical when we decide the lists we're going to work on, we had slightly different approaches. So
As always.
As always, we got to keep things interesting. So I made it through the 7th week of UHH. So that's 4 rounds of knockouts, the round of 256, the round of 128, the round of 64, and I was eliminated in the round of 32. So over that stretch, I picked 3 games that I encountered during that time that I had a great time playing and just wanted to spend a little bit of our airtime talking about. And how did you approach it, Elroy?
Well, before I reveal my great strategy, let me just first say that that's quite the accomplishment. The round of 32, that is nothing to sneeze at, so to speak. So, yeah, congrats on that. I only made it to I made it to the knockout round, and then I lost to my first round opponent, some dude in Brazil. If he's listening, he can just go to hell. But
that's still don't undersell it though, because the first 4 weeks there were 772 matchups per week, and you got into that 5th week where there were only 128 matchups, so 650-ish sets of people had been eliminated before the knockout round. So that's still pretty impressive, even to make it that far.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you trying not to make me feel so bad about it, but I got sniped in the middle of the night, and I think the same thing happened to you, if I'm not mistaken, right? Where you went to bed and you had a nice lead, and then you woke up and it was gone.
Yeah, but it's all good. And also, let's not undersell the fact that you were managing and still continue to manage your G-Task presence while doing UHH.
That tourney thing.
So that's a lot to keep in the air.
Yeah, I decided I'd try another mistress, a little side piece, tourney, if you will. And X, he vowed not to do the because he said he was a one tournament type of guy. But for my list, I went with 3 memorable achievement experiences, in the sense that 3 themes, if you will, that I will remember from this contest and take with me henceforth. So that's the way I approached it. I'm sure you'll see the differences as we go. I can just jump right in if you like.
Go for it.
And you made it further, so I'll let you go last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll make it in the list further than I did. So it's symbolic.
Oh.
We're all about that symbolicness and
we
all
are.
that stuff. Yeah.
We are.
So, number 3. My number 3 is the arcade game series. That is something that just kept coming up. So this includes Miss Pac-Man, Mr. Pac-Man, Mr. Dig Dug, and Mrs. Galaga. So those 4 games, they have these arcade game series. So I discovered those in July 2016-ish. All the achievements for those were basically unlocked for me in that month, July 2016. I think some of my best days were when I was like mainlining all those. It's quick points. You can get a lot of points in a hurry with those 4 games. And then after I did it that one day in July of 2016, I was very early in my achievement hunting days at that point. I didn't even have 100,000 points at that point.
Wow.
And so I was just trying to get to 100,000 before some imaginary award that I don't even know what happened to. I wanted to be an overlord, and whatever happened to that, I have no idea. So anyhow, it seems that in the time that's taken place since, or maybe before, everyone else and their mama has discovered these games too, because it was always on my list. There was always at least one of them on my list. They were very popular games, and I guess a lot of people never completed them. So that's why they were always popping up. So I had a couple of significant ones. Week 2, I had Dig from the Dig Dug game for digging through the entire area in one round. So I had tried that one before, and I swore I had dug everything. I'm pretty handy with a shovel, if you might remember. If there was some coons that kind of jumped on the screen, I would have taken care of them. I'm pretty good with a shovel, and I just don't know why it wouldn't unlock for me. So then I digged myself in the comment section and looked, and then I found out there's this thing called invisible dirt. So if you're having trouble with this one, you might go look at the comment that mentions invisible dirt. Once I discovered invisible dirt, and then I got it on my second try.
Nice.
Yeah, and my opponent didn't. So that was a win for me. even though that was the week I lost because I had to leave town on Wednesday or Thursday, and I wasn't in town Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So, yeah, I lost that one. That was to Planting, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Some guy named Planting42. Apparently, he's pretty active on TA.
With some other tournament thingy.
Yeah, no. And then week 4, Picky Eater from Pac-Man for clearing 3 rounds without eating a freaking ghost or dying. So I never gotten that one because it was very difficult. And then I discovered the save system that you could abuse, the offline save system. And I had never saw that before. I don't know. Well, back when I played it, again, I didn't really know how to TA. Some would argue I still don't know how to TA, but I really didn't know how to TA back then. And so I don't know if I ever even looked this achievement up, and if I did, if the solution was there where you can abuse the save system. And if it was, I probably didn't know how to do it anyway. So, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, you beat the first stage, and then you save it. Then you quit. And then you wait about 15, 20 minutes. It loads to the cloud. Then you resume it. And then it loads. And then you go offline. And then if you screw up, you stop, delete the local data, and then reconnect to the interwebs. And then you re-download it from the cloud. And then you go offline again until you have success. And then you reconnect, and it updates your cloud save, blah, 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 blah. Amazing. So I got familiar with that process. I was able to get that achievement in week 4. And I learned a lot about the save system, which was really handy because in week 2, I did not try it because it sounded really complicated to me. And I got that same freaking achievement in week 2 in week 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I skipped it in week 2, and then it comes back to haunt me in week 5 of Om Nom Nom in Pac-Man for eating 2 fruit and all 4 freaking ghosts in succession, all 4 freaking times in a single round. This one was a little more challenging. That's probably why I skipped it in 2016 and why I had skipped it in week 2. Now here's a question for you, Lo. Which one do you suppose has the higher ratio? Om Nom Nom or Picky Eater? So clearing 3 rounds without eating a ghost or dying, or eating all of the freaking ghosts all 4 times and getting all 2 fruit in the same round? Any guesses?
I actually have a cheat on this one because I currently, even though I keep trying desperately to bow out of the Ultimate Head-to-Head, I keep getting lists. I actually have the Fruit Basket achievement this week, which is the one for eating all 5 fruits in one playthrough. So I've been looking at the list recently, so I know the answer. I don't want to be a spoiler. So I'm going to let the question hang a little bit, and now you can go ahead and answer it for people who've given it some thought.
Well, there you go. I think the time has expired. Well, by a mere 0.04, Om Nom Nom takes the fruit. So, 3.14 for Picky Eater and 3.18 for Om Nom Nom. So the best part, though, about Om Nom Nom was besides being worth 95 Gamerscore and over 300 TA, is that if you unlocked it, you also, chances are you unlocked Om Nom Nom X3, which is worth 75 Gamerscore, 200-ish TA, and Om Nom Nom X4, which is worth 90 Gamerscore and 270 TA on its own. So you get 260 Gamerscore worth 770-ish TA for that G-test tourney thingy if you're trying to balance both at the same time, which I was. So that was memorable. And then lastly, on week 5 on that, I had Stage 19 from Galaga for getting a perfect score on Stage 19 bonus stage. Now, I used to play the hell out of some Galaga, but apparently not playing it for 25 years or kind of you lose a lot of skill. But I thought, so I looked at the solutions. There was nothing other than a video of some dude actually doing it. And I was like, well, I know what to do. That's not the problem. You shoot all the freaking ships, right? So that's not the problem. The problem is actually doing it. Because those little fat bugs that take 2 hits, they're a bunch of dicks, man. They just go flying by, and you're like you swear you hit them, but I don't know. And so I started thinking, I was like, what if that whole save trick worked on Galaga? There's kind of the same thing. It's this, arcade game series. Would it work there? So I got my 2 ships on Stage 18, went right into Stage 19, and I saved it. And then I started the process. And it worked. I couldn't believe it. So the trick for Pac-Man, it works on Galaga. So if you're having trouble getting those, you might go try that if you hadn't thought to do that. I had not, so I did, and it worked. And so it's memorable to me because it was the first time I really manipulated the whole save system on local and network and all that good stuff. And it allowed me to simultaneously do both the GTAS tourney thingy and with the at the same time. And so also I felt like I was getting away with something, like I was cheating, but I guess it's not really. But anyhow, that's why it's my number 3.
Awesome. I actually got, in my last week of UHH, had stage 11 perfect and stage 15 perfect from Galaga. And I had the same discussion about actually the save. I think it's save scumming is the phrase I've heard, but I could be making that up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, we can go with it anyway. But yeah. Elle was telling me about this. He's like, oh, this is what you do. You just delete your save and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that is entirely too much work. So I would just keep picking the stage before the stage I needed, playing the stage, getting the double fighter, and trying it again. So I didn't go with all the save manipulation thing. And same as you, I also got Pac-Man. And I had the Om Nom Nom ×4 achievement. In 1 week, and that was just watch a YouTube video and memorize the patterns, but you have to be so precise.
Wow. So you actually put a lot of work into that.
Yeah. But it felt good, right? It felt like I exercised a little skill. I think you could do the same trick with Dig Dug, actually, though. With I don't know if
the digging.
I think you can. So yeah, I think it's.
I would imagine so. I just never. That was before I had exploited it, so I was like you. I was like, that's too much work. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
so.
It just sounds like a lot to go into the settings and back up and connect. So,
but it's not though.
No?
When you actually get into it, it takes about 20 seconds to do a reload. I mean, it's really quick. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll need to learn the ways at some point.
Yeah.
So are you gonna?
What do you got?
I'll go next. We'll kind of alternate as our.
Yeah. Let's do it. Number 3.
So, as I said earlier, I picked my list kind of 3 games that I got to play during the course of Ultimate Head-to-Head that struck me in some way or the other, and I picked one Xbox 360 retail game, one Xbox One game, and one Xbox Live arcade game. Because you wind up playing a lot. I didn't get the exact figures, but you wind up playing a lot of different games over the course of UHH. So I will start with the game I played that was Xbox Live Arcade, because I know we don't like talking about 200 Gamerscore games for too terribly long. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
Stinkers.
So I'm not even going to bother asking if you've ever played a Half Minute Hero Super Mega Neo Climax.
Whoa, that's a nice name.
Fantastic.
It's as many words in the title as there are gamer score that you can earn from.
Oh man, excellent point. If you're not familiar with Half Minute Hero Super Mega Neo Climax Edition, it was the Xbox Live version of, I believe, a PSP game initially. Half Minute Hero initially came out on that platform. And I can think, have you played Minute? MINIT? The Xbox One game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's black and white. You have a minute to accomplish something, and then if you don't, you kind of you start back at the beginning.
It's actually kind of fun. I just said it. I'm so sorry.
We'll have to remove that in post.
But I enjoyed it.
Right.
Sorry, editors. Extra word.
So Half Minute Hero is the same concept. Just you have 30 seconds to take care of whatever business you have to take care of. And it's a game I actually bean dived back in 2011 and got one achievement and then never played it again, even though I keep looking at it and intending to play it. I drew this in the week that I had Kronos as my competitor, and so I can't lose to a friend. I can lose to strangers just fine. But if I know you, the competitive drive really kicks up, and I can't lose. So I had 2 achievements in that week. One called Warrior of the Goddess, which was to offer 3,000 gold to goddess statues. So throughout the game... Was
that goddess with apostrophe S at the end?
No.
Or was it just normal?
No, just regular.
Okay.
And
I have to ask.
No, yeah. It's a fair question, because we might need an educational portion of the show. But you go into towns during Half Minute Hero. While you're in a town, time is paused. So you have a little time to buy an item or heal. And there are also these goddess statues, and you pray to the goddess statues to refill your timer back up to 30 seconds. So this was just for offering 3,000 gold, which is, if you play the game for any length of time, you're going to get pretty quickly. And then the other one we had was Charisma Hero, which was to ally with all the available NPCs. And this one required playing probably like 80% of the game. So in the span of a week, I went from having played this game just enough to get one achievement to getting 80% through it to never playing it again. But that said, I had a lot of fun with the time that I did spend playing it. It's a good game to play in a small burst because it's intended to be played in small sections. Now, don't let it fool you. Every level is not going to be completable in 30 seconds. Some will be. Some may take you 4 or 5 minutes. But it's still not going to take too long. It's an interesting concept. I haven't played Minute myself, but I think it's structurally very similar. But be forewarned, if you're going to play it, it is not an easy Gamerscore game. If you're following a guide, and True Achievements happens to have an awesome guide on Half Minute Hero, it's still going to take you about 20 hours to get through. But it's unique enough
for 200 points.
For 200 Gamerscore. I know.
I'm sure people are just lining up to do that.
It's 485 TA, and if you're going to play the Great True Achievement tournament thingy next year, that's the key, right? Is score differential. So I mean, that's like 200 Neo Geo games right there. So it's worth keeping in mind. But it was a fun game to go through, and I was really happy to go back to it because I was always interested in playing it, and this is what it took to finally get it done.
Well, awesome. That sounds fantastic, I guess.
I know.
For people that, want to...
now that you can exhale...
Yeah. It got a little intense there. 20 hours and 200? Oh my gosh.
If Waka Pale ever runs out of quickie of the weeks and decides to do waste of times of your week, because you get too little achievement or too little TA in whatever stretch of time. Yeah. But it's not a waste of time in terms of fun and enjoying playing it, which I know. I said the F word again.
Yeah, I'm writing it down. This is your third instance.
We're gonna have to start a swear jar.
Yes. Awesome.
But moving along, what's your number 2, Elroy?
All right, number 2. So this one is one that I got in week 2, and it is called Aye Aye Captain from Lego Pirates of the Caribbean for the 360, and you get it by. The description is earn or play a level in co-op. So multiplayer puts the ugh in ugh. I mean, multiplayer, that's just my downfall. But multiplayer Lego game, I mean, who in the world can you convince to do that? So I'm just thinking, when I saw this, I was like, oh man, it's just really. And so I started off on it, and I was using 2 controllers, and I was sitting there, and it just wasn't sustainable. It was just too much switching, and I had to keep going back and forth. I'm sure some people would have the patience for it, but I'm just like, man, this is taking way too long. This is like the easiest ratio on my freaking list, and I'm sitting here spending like an hour and some change trying to, move 2 controllers in the right spot, and then the one character I need, like I couldn't figure out. It was just it was awful. It was a mess. And so, finally, I saw Kelly sitting there on the couch next to me reading. She does educational things while I waste my time getting imaginary internet points, as X described it. And I was just like, Kelly, sweetheart, do you mind just like moving this character wherever I go? You only have to beat one level. It shouldn't take too long, like 15 minutes, something like that. And Kelly, being the amazing Kelly that she is, and the sweetheart, she's like, okay, I can do that. So we're going through the level, and I hadn't beat any of the stages yet. I just had stopped. And so I hadn't even played one of the levels yet. And so I had played half of a stage, so I got to there just fine, and I thought everything was going well. And then I got freaking stuck. I couldn't figure out. Well, I had skipped all the dialogue that was telling you how to do stuff, and like, oh, you hit this button to do this. You hit with this character. You hit the button on this character. And so apparently somewhere in there it talked about digging in sand with one of the characters, maybe Captain Jack. I forget who was the digger, but someone digs. And again, my proficiency with a shovel, I would have probably dug really well. But I just didn't know it was an option. So there's this barrel I had to roll over to this dock from one point A to point B. It was obvious that's what I needed to do. I needed to get this barrel from here to there, and it kept falling through the little hole there, and I was like, well, do you have to, like, somehow – I tried every button sequence I could think of where you, like, somehow put the character there and maybe roll it over their head and maybe hold – like put your hands up as it goes over your head or something. I didn't know what to do with it. There was a dog running around. It was just crazy. And so maybe the dog's the one that digs. That would make sense,
Yeah,
right?
that does make
There's like a
sense.
dog, and then there's Captain Jack, and then the other Orlando Bloom dude. And so they're all running around, and I could not get that freaking barrel over there. And so after 20 very frustrating minutes of me trying to figure out what the hell to do, and Kelly was like fading fast, and you could tell it was really a strain here, and she was quickly losing interest. But she had told me she would help me out, and I was just apologizing to her. I'm like, I don't know, I just can't get this freaking barrel over here. And so you add in the actual 15 minutes of what the whole level took in with the frustrating minutes of trying to get this barrel across the dock, and what it ended up being is that I burned that bridge, and I'm never gonna be able to go back to that well again. That was a one-time deal. So, regardless, I will always look back at that one time that I was able to convince Kelly to play something other than Rock Band, and remember why I should not even bother ever asking her again, given her overall joy of the experience. So, thank you, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, for your damn hidden wooden planks in the sand thing.
Well,
Yeah.
Lego Pirates of the Caribbean is 0 for 2 among us, because that's the Lego game that actually stopped me playing Lego games. It was finally where I hit the wall and went, you know what? No, and just turned it off and never went back. Yeah,
Had enough.
just that was it. So Kelly and I have something in common. And Lego Pirates is just too much.
Yes, indeed.
All right, excellent. I'm gonna move on to a 1000G game this time, and one that is not 20 hours for that 1000G that I got to play during UHH.
I'm listening.
And
I'm listening.
it's not super quick though. But
Oh, I'm not listening. I'm gonna go get something to drink.
all right, go get something to drink. But I'm going to talk about Kronos's favorite game that he recommended many months to be a game of the month, Oxenfree. So Oxenfree is a very narrative-driven game. And have you played it at all? Are you familiar with it at all?
Oh gosh, you got me. I actually like this game.
Okay, awesome.
I really enjoyed that game, and I got sucked into this thing, and a lot of what got me in. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but the story was awesome, but the music is really what got me. I really like the music in it.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, Oxenfree is... It took a little bit. I had it for a random to-do list achievement in August, so just before UHH started. I got it on my tag, and it came up in I want to say my third week when I was playing against Randomly Evasive. And, of course, the achievement we drew, which was fairly low on our list, was the one to complete the story. And don't you just love that in UHH, how your lowest ratio achievements tend not to be gimmies, but to be for completing a long campaign. This was the case for Oxenfree, and my first brief experience with it wasn't so pleasant. It's a bunch of millennials. I am not a millennial. It's a bunch of high school kids. I am not a high school kid. It's a bunch of kids going to have a wild drinking party on some island somewhere. Definitely not my experience. So there was a little bit of an association issue, and I had a hard time getting into the game and buying into it first. But once you get through that first scene at the cave, you know the scene I'm talking about, Elroy.
Oh yeah. Oh god, so much dialogue.
Yeah. You have to see the game through. The twists in the game are interesting, and the storytelling is great. The characters actually wind up both likable and not likable, which is great, because the worst thing that can happen in a narrative-driven game is for you to be indifferent, and you definitely don't leave the game indifferent. The game does compel you to play it more than once anyway, so I played it kind of sort of with a guide. Like, I found things by myself, but I would also kind of check in and see where I was. So I was able to just enjoy it and make decisions on my own. And I had a really wonderful experience. So when I got to the end of this, what is it, maybe like a 6-hour campaign, the first time you play it. I had a great time, and I was really grateful to UHH for actually pushing me through getting through it. Because I think if I wasn't given a week to finish it to get this point, I probably always would have just sat on it and played a little here and a little there. And the game really relies on you playing it through in that one set to get a sense of the story.
Yeah, one of the things that I found fascinating about it was, like, on your second playthrough, I was expecting just to kind of, I was following somewhat of a guide. Well, actually, I was following a guide completely. And so by somewhat, I mean completely. But as I was going through it, I was like, whoa, that was different. Like, I don't remember that. That was a little more menacing. And so, like, the game just gets a little more aggressive and sinister as you go. And it kind of creates like an on-edge environment, which makes sense. And the game, you think the second playthrough is going to be the same as the first playthrough other than the decisions you make, but the game actually adjusts and it knows that you have already completed the game, and so it's like saying different things to you because you already know what happens, and so it's like the game's taunting you almost. It was really kind of a cool dynamic going on. And don't even get me started with the mirrors, where where you're choosing dialogue and you have no idea what it means, but I don't want to spoil it. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Do they explain what happened there? Like how?
They do. They don't really
Like
explain
that
what
mechanic?
happens, but it clicked for me when I saw the end, and in the end, it sort of thanks the people that show up in the mirror.
Okay.
So I was like,
Yeah, okay.
man. So
Yeah.
thank you, Redemption,
awesome.
and thank you, Fog.
Yeah.
I forget the third person I think Chin was the third person that showed up on mine. So yeah, it's cool, and we won't tell you how the mechanic is used. I actually have not done the other. You have to do 3 playthroughs, kind of a good playthrough, a bad playthrough, and a silent playthrough.
Yeah, we just don't say anything.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
and I'm looking forward to those other 2 playthroughs, and I don't.
Oh man, you're gonna love the third playthrough. Everyone turns on you, like you won't say anything, and everyone just assumes the
man.
worst about you, and you just alienate.
Yeah, what does
everyone.
that say about you if that's what people assume when you're being quiet, right?
Exactly.
I would assume you
But-
were hurt somehow if you were quiet. I wouldn't assume that you were like angry.
There's no concern. There's no concern on their end. They're like, oh, she won't say it. It's like they're just whispering about you and all. It's pretty bad.
But they're also
they-
teenagers, right? It's
Oh,
like,
yeah, I mean,
so
it's
it's
pretty
a different sort of thing. There's a whole new scenario there going on.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, great game, and just
Awesome soundtrack. Let me throw that in
yeah,
there.
the soundtrack is awesome, and it definitely gets you to think. There's some interesting mechanic things, even though it's mostly walking sim-y. I know it doesn't really classify that way because it's not in first person, but you don't have to like jump to avoid things, and there really aren't. There are a couple little puzzles, but it's more of an experience game, I think. Does that sound kind of accurate to you?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So it's really more about sitting back and enjoying that. But there are a couple of interesting mechanics with the radio that I really enjoyed that I don't recall seeing elsewhere. So big marks for that one. Thank you, UHH.
Yeah, one last thing on that was that if you like the soundtrack, you can find every track, including bonus tracks that weren't used in the video game, on YouTube. You can, pull them all up and then download them all as MP3s using different software. But they're all on my phone, and I use it like when I'm trying to it's like an ambient noise kind of thing, and great for that. And so also I got really sucked into that whole universe, and so I was like, man, I just want to know more about it. And so I actually looked it up, and there's planned a show on it, like Robert Kirkman, he's the Walking Dead guy, and he was exploring having a show about that universe, the Oxenfree thing. And if you played the game, you know that there's a lot there that could be used. So it should be pretty good. I hope that they actually follow through with it, and I'd watch it. So.
Oh, awesome. Also,
Yeah.
just as an aside, I just happened to look because we're sitting here. The Oxenfree soundtrack is also on Spotify. So if you
Fantastic.
have that, you can just go check it out.
Awesome. All right, well, number 1. So the title of my number 1 is My Demise. This is how I got beat. So week 5, that was my final week, and there's 2 achievements that I blame for my loss. The first one is Everyone Knows Kyle from Dying Light, and the other one is Welcome to the Big Leagues from Bros of War 3. So there's no way around it. I was basically undone by these 2 achievements. Now, it's very embarrassing, I guess, and because one has a 1.28 ratio and the other one has a 1.33 ratio. And the amount of hours that I put into these, and it wasn't like they were at the end of some campaign that takes 60 hours or something like that, but these were very doable achievements, I thought. And so I was up 14-12 going into the final night, and I have something in the back of my mind. Well, actually, I was up 14-12 all day Friday. And so I got home early from work, and I had it in my mind, I need to get one more to just kind of close this thing out. And 15-12, I thought, I don't think he can overcome that. So, given my list, these 2 achievements that I just mentioned were the only 2 real candidates for me to go for. And so, I spent my whole Friday evening trying to get both of them. So, I started off with the Bros of War 3 one. So, the description, or the achievement is, welcome to the big leagues. And the description is, your skill and experience means you're ready for standard versus multiplayer. So nothing fancy there, right? So if you look at the guide for the achievement, it says, this is all it says. Well, this is the first line. Simply boot up the game and go into casual multiplayer. Play a couple of matches, and there you go. Achievement unlocked. That is... I'm getting angry just thinking about the simplicity in which this guy says this could be done. So what could go wrong? It didn't freaking work. That's what went wrong. I assure you that I'm able to boot up the game and go into casual multiplayer and play a couple of matches, and then I'm good with that. Again, multiplayer, I'm telling you. And so I dug into the comments as much as I could, and some people were starting to mention grumblings of this thing ain't working here, man, and several people were posing solutions, and so I was getting desperate at this point. So I had played many matches of it. I even let it idle for a while. I tried everything. I like deleted my save, or and booted it back up or something, and then I even saved it to a different device. I thought, well, maybe if I put it on the cloud, it'll be different somehow. I even tried it on my Japanese Xbox.
Wow.
And I tried everything with it. Nothing. So I tried the Gears of War 2 thing. Apparently, if you get a certain level on Gears of War 2, then it will automatically pop when you boot up Gears of War 3. That didn't work. I couldn't find anyone that... I hate to tell you, if you're really enjoying Bros of War 2 multiplayer, it's ghost town out there. And I couldn't find any matches. I couldn't get any experience. It was just awful. So I couldn't get to work. I have no idea how it works. I thought it was busted. But, of course, my opponent got it. And my heart sank when I saw that. And I don't know. That one, I'll never forget that achievement. And that leads me to Dying Light, since I was dying on this one. And so the Dying Light achievement was, everyone knows Kyle, for reaching Survivor rank level 12. And just for a little sidebar, this one's currently on my RTDO list. Just a little salt in the wounds here. So I'm not sure why I suck so bad at this game, or if it's just intentional, like it's a very difficult game. I don't know, but I just couldn't do it. So I couldn't do it on my own. And so I was like, well, let me just do a lot of research on this. So there's a lot of cheats out there. I tried them. One involves you sit on a fence in a safe zone all night, and you shoot some special zombies, and you get a bunch of experience. But I could never find any damn bullets. I don't know where you get bullets in that game. And the experience I got for surviving the night was, it was all right, but nothing. I mean, that was going to take probably about 30 hours if I was going to do it that way. And so it wasn't going to get me there quickly. Another trick is that you're supposed to do something offline where you buy a bunch of lockpicks, and then you keep respawning a drop and get a bunch of experience for that. And some people said it worked. Some people said it didn't. Some say they patched it. I don't know. It didn't look like a very good thing for me to invest my time in. So then I thought, well, let me just try multiplayer. And so let me see if multiplayer can carry me over the finish line. So I found one friendly guy that on Thursday, and I don't know how I found this angel, but he took me all the way up to level 8, and he was very patient with me. He didn't know who I was, and I I mean, I really was appreciating his help, and he got me all the way up to level 8. He knew what he was doing, and finally I ran out of time with him on Thursday, and we just kind of got disconnected, and somehow my dumbass lost his username, and I couldn't find him again, and I still don't know who this person was. It was the Dying Light Angel. If you're listening and you carried Elroy OMJ on your back for a good part of Thursday night one night, please let me know. But after I lost his info, I was never able to find anyone else that was any good at it or that could help me in the way that this guy was helping me. So I don't know. I guess I'm just terrible at the game. I could never catch this one zombie that just takes off running, and it just didn't happen for me. So ultimately I would die, and then I'd lose more experience. Apparently you're punished for dying, you lose experience. So I was going the wrong direction. This guy got me up to level 8, and I almost went backwards, I guess. I don't know if you lose levels, but I mean, it was awful. And so needless to say, but well, I guess since it's a podcast, I got to say it, but it was, epic fail on many levels, and especially since I never thought to even ask anyone in the community to help me on it. So yeah, my undoing in the was because I couldn't get two of the 4 lowest ratio and supposedly easiest achievements on my list in the knockout round. So that's my 4 memories.
Well, that's I'm really sorry to hear all that. Gears 4, when you had mentioned it in the Discord, I remember that was the first thing that popped when I loaded up the game. Like, as soon as I loaded it up before I did anything, it was just like 0G. Oh, okay, that's cool. So I played a lot of Gears 2 multiplayer. So I
think that's how it's supposed to work.
Right. I was sad for you to hear that didn't pop, because of course it's going to color your want to do anything with that game in the future, or possibly the franchise, or however much of a grudge holder you are.
Oh man, it's going to be tough. I don't know. Maybe if that overcooked mashup game comes out, I might visit that one. But,
all right.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe like a nice re-entry. All right, so
yeah,
I too, for my number 1 pick, picked a game that I played during my last week in UHH, during my final matchup with Midnight Delight, which went down to the wire. Talked about it on the panel last week, and again, congratulations to him for making it through. He did not make it through the week of 16, but it gets pretty ridiculously intense, and he played very similar to me, where he clearly was busy during the day and then played in the evenings. So it wasn't like he was someone who was an alt-counter sitting around playing a lot of that sort of stuff. So anyway, one of the games on our list was Burnout Paradise, and I love Burnout Paradise. And as always, Elroy, did you play Burnout Paradise?
I can't say that I even know what this game is.
All right, excellent. So if you are familiar at all with Forza Horizon, Burnout Paradise is very similar. It is a sandboxy racing game. So instead of...
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
So instead of doing races and just, winning money and buying better cars, you go around and do different events. Sometimes they are races. Sometimes there are these events called Marked Man, where other cars are trying to take your car down. You have to drive it to a certain location. There are stunt runs where you try to get a certain number of points. And the game's a lot of fun. And I had started playing it many years ago, in 2011, which was when I really ruined my tag for the first time, thanks to bean diving. But unlike many of the games I bean dived at that time, I really loved it, and I played it quite a bit. But unfortunately, in some transfer or another between Xbox 360 and Xbox 360, or Xbox 360 and Xbox One, I lost my save. So I went from my almost A-class license to having no data, and very sadly looked at the game every time it came back up again, because I didn't want to, it's fun, but do you really want to do 10 hours of replaying everything you already did to get nothing fun? That's kind of always a hard sell.
You're out of control right
now. So in this last week, it was close throughout. So I had a good sized lead going into that last night, but nothing where I had achievements that took a long time. And so I finally went, okay, we have 2 achievements in Burnout Paradise. One is a car in a china shop for earning 500 takedowns. So that's anytime you smash into a car and get them off the road. And the other one was for doing 25 burning routes, which is every time you got anytime you get a car, you can do a special race for that car to get a souped up version of that car. So I jumped into the game and realized if you do the events that feature really just taking cars down, you can get 500 takedowns really easily. So I was like, all right, I got this. I'm going to get this 500 takedowns. But then something dawned on me. My opponent early in the week had gotten the A-class license. And there is literally no way you get an A-class license without sitting right on top of that 25 burning routes achievement. So I think in the last day of UHH, I put 12, or last 2 days, I put 12 hours into Burnout Paradise to catch up and get that achievement. And I really enjoyed it. So maybe I'm just a terribly sick individual. Because after talking about how much fun I had playing this, all the achievements I've earned since UHH is 1 achievement a day in Fearful Symmetry and the Cursed Prince to keep my achievement streak going. So maybe I didn't love it that much. But it's great fun. And if anyone out there who's listening wants to do those 8-player, 7-player, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2-player free burn achievements or free burn challenges to work towards those achievements, totally willing to do that stuff too. It's unfortunate you'll never play it, Elroy, because it's a good time. But for those of you who do,
Cars.
I don't like I don't like the Forza games and stuff like that. Generally, I'm not big into it. The only car games I really liked were Burnout Paradise, Split Second, and Blur, and all of them are more arcadey. They're not really racing sims. But yeah, this was my favorite game to rediscover because it actually prompted me to take a game that I had completely given up on because I didn't have save data anymore and get back and surpass where I had been before. And I've actually played it a little bit even since UHH ended. So that's a good tell too.
Wow, fantastic. Well, all right. Well, we better get you out of here before you just get us rated M for mature. Get you some soap and
well,
get that mouth cleaned out.
The good thing is I put enough money in the swear jar to get you your own copy of Burnout Paradise. Aren't you lucky?
Oh, the Student Achievement Factory thanks you. So anyhow, well, that's our list. Oh, but wait. You wanted a bonus list. Well, here you go. The top 3 famous Kyles in honor of everyone knows Kyle. Number 3, Kyle Lowry. Number 2, Kyle Busch. And number 1, Kyle from South Park. Okay.
All right, nice. I was wondering if you were going to say Kyle from South Park. I would have thrown that in there if you hadn't.
Well, unfortunately, if your name is Kyle, chances are you're not going to be famous because that was a pretty crap list.
It was a bit of a stretch there. I don't even know the third Kyle you mentioned.
Yeah. One's a basketball player. One person makes left-hand turns on those
I knew the
racing games.
left-hand turn guy.
And then the other one is
a cartoon.
An animated. Yeah, not even a real Kyle. So Kyle's, the deck's stacked against you. Sorry.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll have a nice topic for next week, and we'll go from there.
Thank you for listening to our self-indulgence.
Oh, right.
Yes.
It's still record on. Time to turn that off.
Yeah. If you want to get in touch with us, use the internet. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
So long.
Football 200.
Your choice, do or don't name this play in which the quarterback runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back. It's an option play. Ryan?
Welcome to this pay-to-win Quickie of the Week, Touchdown Hero, new season. Anyone that has completed this free-to-play American football-themed Endless Runner paid $3 for the completion and likely completed it with less than 10 seconds actually playing it. The fact is that 4 of the game's 20 achievements are not obtainable without buying them. Every achievement is tied to unlocking uniforms, which can all be unlocked by a $3 microtransaction. Touchdown Hero New Season is available for PC and Windows Phone, and shares progress between versions, meaning that if you buy the achievements on one platform, you can just load up the other version for a second completion. While the Gamerscore in TA is a measly 200 Gamerscore and just slightly more TA per version, paying $3 will get you 40 achievements with 2 completions, worth 400 Gamerscore and almost 500 TA in less than a minute of actual playtime. Personally, I'm just slightly ashamed to barely have played it.